So today I've been feeling quite motionless and without movement, and haven't really done much self-forgiveness or writing or much speaking to myself. I made a post on the forum describing this experience of nothingness, and I realized I feel sort of blind almost, despite the fact that I can see the world around me. This feeling of blindness seems to be coming from the fact that I've been so used to interacting with the visual world around me and forming visuals in my mind of the world around me, in whether I'm projecting my focus into a pictured apparently future moment, or projecting my focus into a picture of a memory within my mind. And to stop doing this all of a sudden seems to I seem to be requiring a lot of adjustment to simply experiencing being here without placing myself in a perceived time frame or timeline. And being a very, very visual person with very powerful visualization ability and imagination, to not have that source of entertainment and as something to focus on during the day, to not really, to just not be doing that anymore seems to, and since I'm not, since the initial, through beginning this process and finding the Destiny website and experiencing all of this initial fascination and excitement and enthusiasm and these realizations, now that's sort of, that initial excitement and fascination has sort of begun to taper off, and so I'm not so much, directly engaged in it in the same way. And so today and yesterday as well, I've just felt like nothing's happening, like I'm nowhere, like I'm not moving. And I see the world around me, and it's almost like a feeling of seeing but not really seeing, but being blind at the same time. And then seeming to be unable to direct and create some kind of movement. Because what I've been used to doing is moving myself according to visualizations of what I'm going to do. And so to just simply now be here with no visualization of a future moment to then walk towards, it's like this feeling of being nowhere. and being blind despite the fact that I'm seeing this apparent world around me. And also the fact that I have very, very few obligations in my life means that I have an abundance of time to sit and be without being obligated to busy myself with some task. And not being able to indulge in and rely on visualization and imagination anymore is kind of like a separation anxiety feeling of being removed, so to speak, from this world in which I previously was able to rely on moving visually throughout the world and following projected visualizations within my mind, and then coming to those, and then forming new ones, and coming to those, and forming new ones, and coming to those, thereby keeping myself busy and engaged and entertained in my life, whether reading a book or just doing something with a starting point of visualization. And so being here as my starting point is still a very new experience, and so there's sort of a just feeling of being nowhere, being within a world of pictures, but but then being actually blind and not actually seeing. And so then this feeling of, well, how do I create movement? How do I move? Where, in what capacity do I move myself and direct myself if I'm not being directly stimulated by some part of this visual world? So it's a very simple experience, just sort of an icky experience, actually, because in this experience I really see how much I have relied on us living from a starting point of visualization in my mind, instead of really creating movement from the starting point of being here in every moment. And